Hello, everybody. We here at Dignity Health Global Education are so excited that you are joining us here today for our webinar here with our colleagues from Mercy College Plus to specifically talk about what we believe is a very important and exciting topic. As you may know, we recently launched an Equity Impact Scholarship, and that you have an opportunity to use towards our RN to BSN completion program with Mercy College Plus. I am so excited to be joined today for this information session by our colleagues, Andrew Gress, Director of Enrollment Management at Mercy College of Health Sciences, Kim Oswald, Program Chair and Professor for the RN to BSN at Mercy College of Health Sciences, as well as Tanya Platt, Enrollment Advisor on our team here at Dignity Health Global Education. We hope that you will find today not only to be a good use of your time, but also an exciting time to learn about a transformational learning experience for you as a nurse and for you in the work that you do each and every day for the patients that you have the privilege to serve. We also want to recognize you first and foremost. Thank you for what you do as a nurse. The work you do is not only impactful, but it's transformational. And as the son of a nurse, I can't thank you enough. And so at this time, I'm going to kick it off by asking Andy to specifically talk to you about what makes Mercy College of Health Sciences special and the work that they do, particularly to transform your life in the educational process.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate the invitation to be here today. I'm really looking forward to seeing this launch and to seeing so many people benefit from such a great partnership. You know, Mercy College is located in downtown Des Moines, Iowa, and we've been doing healthcare education for a long time. We actually had our first students start in 1899 and graduate in 1901. And something that's really neat when you're at the college, you'll see all of those nursing classes are right outside in the Sullivan Center, and you can go from 1901 to 1902, and you get to 1914, and the class quadruples. And that was the history of the college, helping prepare nurses to go to World War I. So the college just has a fantastic tradition. We're really excited to continue to be able to reach more people and help educate what we call our healthcare heroes. You know, and the college is it's missional, a Catholic institution, but of course welcoming of all. We operate off of our 5 core values of knowledge, reverence, integrity, compassion, and excellence. Students experience that in our admissions process. They experience that in the classroom, in our academic advising process, and we're really proud when they take that into their healthcare profession. So I know what people want to hear about is the program. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Dr. Kim Oswald.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here today and talk about our program. You know, it's a really big decision to advance one's education. And I think it's very important to look at what are the elements of our Mercy Plus RN to BSN program that make us unique. Andy mentioned our mission-based program. You know, our legacy is rooted in the Sisters of Mercy that guides our core values. It also guides our curriculum. It guides our faculty and our staff as we support students in this program. I want to just review just real quickly a few of the core values, with knowledge being first. Knowledge is just a thirst for study, and that's one of the exciting things our students gain by coming into this program. Reverence is the spirit of respect for awe and a creation shaping our relationships. Integrity is our moral compass, our moral wholeness and honesty. Compassion is feeling with others. And excellence is an outstanding commitment to surpassing standards and focusing on quality. On those core values, that is one of the unique aspects of our program. The second unique aspect, and Jeffrey, if I could go back to the previous slide. Yeah, thank you. Our second unique aspect is the student-centric and relationship-building portions of our program. You know, their relationships are very important when you take an academic journey and you add more to your busy life. Faculties develop relationships between their students in our program. We are readily available to our students through both individual contact, whether that's through email, phone, online, group sessions through Microsoft Teams. We are also available to support your success during your academic journey because we realize when you're successful, we are also successful. Also, those peer-to-peer relationships are critical when you're in school. Engagement with peer and faculty in our weekly discussion enhances our learning process. It is during these discussion experiences that knowledge and experience come together to really examine what is that BSN nursing role. And then the third area is student and support team members. We have an enrollment coach who acts as your personal concierge to keep you on track, to register for classes, and to be there during the entire journey. We also have exceptional online tutors who support scholarly writing and verify APA format for those written assignments in various courses. We also have remote library services available who offer assistance to our students when searching for those research and scholarly articles for some of the required course assignments. So I think that student-centric and relationship-building part of our program is unique. The third area, which makes the RN to BSN program unique, is our high quality and innovative curriculum. Our faculty are chosen as experts that align with their teaching. And so our faculty have worked in the clinical setting, have various experiences as leaders, as researchers. All those type of experiences help to promote effective faculty in your courses. We also listen to our students. Feedback from our students resulted in the writing of our first 5-week course in the program, which is called the Program Orientation and Professional Writing course. This course is to support adult learners who are returning back to academic life. We assist students to get started on the right foot, revisiting what is scholarly writing, what is navigating the online environment, and we introduce all those assistive services that will support your success. One of the innovations of the program is this slide that shows you our micro-credentialing badge program. This is an important part of our program because we embedded micro-credentials, which are called badges, into the curriculum. The skills and competencies that students acquire in the RN to BSN program are identified as digital credentials. These are also stackable learning pathways, which are portable learning records our graduates carry with them. The badges may connect graduates with future opportunities and are easily shared with future employers through social media such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. The example on this slide is one of our badges called the Communication Badge. As you can see, this badge is supported through discussions and written assignments focused on both public speaking and writing for publication. Ultimately, this badge will help support earning our final badge, the Nurse Leader Badge. One of the other innovations in our program is our weekly discussions through our Yellowdig platform. Now, this is an exciting platform because it supports active learning to spark interactions between peers and faculty, and in essence, bring these discussion boards alive. It is way different than the old discussion boards of the past, and so it's very innovative. The fourth area that makes our program unique is our affordable and flexibility of the program. You will find that our tuition is very competitive. It is $2,500 per term, and our courses are in 10-week accelerated format with 4 terms per academic year. The program is flexible. This program really is built to fit into the busy life of the working adult. You can literally log on anytime and anywhere to complete your coursework. In fact, we have many students across the country who have participated in our RN to BSN program. Your schedule can be personally developed to fit into your life of balancing both family, home, and work. Maybe you want to take 1, 2, or 3 classes. Maybe you decide you want to take a trip, and so you're going to cut back on your classes for the summer term. That's okay. Our enrollment coach will personalize your schedule to meet your needs. Depending on how your course load is, as well as the number of transfer credits that come in, you may be able to complete this program in as little as 1 year. So I think the 4 areas that make our program unique are the mission-based program, our student-centric and relationship-building aspects of our program, our high-quality and innovative curriculum, and our affordable and flexible program. So I thank you for your time today and in sharing these aspects, and I'm going to turn it over now to Tanya.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Kim. Extending a warm welcome to everyone. What a great opportunity, an online program that is accredited, it's flexible, of such a high caliber in terms of quality, and students are 0 out of pocket and not needing to worry about funding whatsoever. What I'd like to today touch on is first the purpose of the Equity Impact Scholarship, along with the simple steps needed in order to apply for this amazing BSN. This scholarship is called the Impact Fund and is for those interested in advancing their career, making an impact on their community, in their team, and across their organization. Accessibility is core to equity. This is the $3 million scholarship funded by Common Spirit Health. Your vision and the vision we have together collectively with Dignity Health Global Education is to reflect our nation's diverse communities. So the partnership here, it's a mission to promote inclusion, diversity, equity in healthcare with healthcare professionals across the board who are looking to develop their skills, their knowledge, their expertise through further education and training. So this scholarship is meant to train the next generation of leaders in healthcare. This includes more men in nursing, more women in leadership roles, and support of people of a variety of backgrounds in both urban and rural areas. How? Dignity Health Global Education and Common Spirit want to provide learning experiences that are accessible, relevant, and exceptional. And this is about really championing social justice through education. So this scholarship is a powerful initiative that is student-centric, as everyone should have access to their career goals, irrespective of race, gender, age, or income. We realize nurses are exceptionally busy people, so the application process is simple and straightforward. You fill in some contact details and then share a personal statement of between 800 to 2,000 words, telling us what makes you unique. This is your personal healthcare journey, so be authentic, talk about what you bring to the table in your job that enables you to connect to those that you care for. Keep in mind, this is about helping to train a more diverse workforce, so speak about any barriers you've had to tackle and how you've overcome them. Talk about you, how you will make an impact with this degree and how it will help you in your job, your team, and your community. The team that are reading the entries want to get to know you. They want to understand your journey and that you've taken. And it's not an activity that is meant to be difficult, as you are speaking from the heart and no one knows the path that you've taken or the journey except you, so be sincere. Adhering to the word count of a minimum of 800 words or more is important. And sometimes a second set of eyes on the essay or the personal statement will help with flow, grammar, and spelling. You're also you can add an image or a video link, but again, this is an optional addition if you feel so inclined. So in order to take advantage of this wonderful scholarship opportunity, it's important that all students first apply to Mercy College, which is effectively step one. So one has to be accepted into the program before any scholarship decision can be made. So the step-by-step, which we see up here, I mean, it is helpful if we speak prior, and it's very doable before the next intake to get in. The intake is scheduled to start October 5th, and the fall term will run from October 5th to December 11th. So you could book in with me and we could have a chat, and following that chat, I will then share the link with you. The application process itself takes only about 15 minutes, and it is free. You're creating an account, you're registering, and then you're sent a temporary PIN, which you change to something familiar, and you fill in personal information, academic information, some education history, and then you're clicking the review, and the review is going to highlight anything that you've missed. You will, of course, need to provide a copy of an active license to practice as a registered nurse and official transcripts from all schools that you've attended past high school. And keep in mind the transcripts are being sent from school direct to Mercy College. So step two, after we've had a chat and you apply with Mercy College Plus. So you put that application in, as I've just spoken about, and it is free to apply, and it doesn't take a great deal of time. And it's great, once you're linked with Mercy, they then will start to communicate back and forth with you. Now, step three, you await word back, obviously, about acceptance and gaining acceptance. Step four is compiling and showing proof that FAFSA has been applied for. On average, Mercy students in 2020 received $800 per term. That's kind of an average amount. And step five, you're showing proof of one's tuition reimbursement. So documentation is needed for both step four and step five, just showing the proof. FAFSA has been applied for, tuition reimbursement has been applied for. And then, of course, the last step would be you apply for the equity impact scholarship. So you're writing your personal statement between 800 to 2,000 words, talking about your personal journey in healthcare and what exactly makes you unique and how you connect to those that you care for. To finish up, I would like to briefly reiterate what my colleagues have spoken of, that Mercy College has over 120 years of experience in preparing healthcare graduates for the healthcare industry. They take great pride in what they do with values embedded into their curriculum, with quality instruction, a great deal of personalized support from not only highly qualified instructors, but the peer-to-peer learning in this program is exceptional. They may be small, but they're certainly mighty, as Andy would say, with hands-on human-centered nursing. What a wonderful opportunity to have zero out-of-pocket costs. You can work, learn, and not have to worry about debt whatsoever. Jeffrey, I'll hand the forum back to you.
Great, thank you, Tanya. And let me thank all of our panelists, Dr. Oswald, Andy, and Tanya, for taking the time to explain to you why, if you're thinking about an RN to BSN, it is clear that Mercy College of Health Sciences and Mercy Plus, as it relates to the RN to BSN, is the clear choice. I think as you hear today, this equity impact scholarship is not just a profound opportunity in your educational journey, but it also is a life-changing one. The idea to potentially have zero out of pocket, to take that next step in your nursing profession and earn and obtain an online accredited RN to BSN with a college that has specialized in the practice and profession of health education for so long is so exciting. We all know that nurses have been the trailblazers in healthcare from very much of the very beginning. When we think of Florence Nightingale, when we think of the work that all of you and all of our nurses have done forever and continue to do even in these very trying and challenging times today, this is a wonderful opportunity in many ways for us to give back to the nursing profession. And so we want to highlight the fact that this Equity Impact Scholarship is truly all about supporting creating a more equitable workforce, creating a more equitable opportunity to take that next step in your educational journey. I also want to just take a moment to highlight something that Dr. Oswald talked about that immediately resonated with me as a former hospital administrator that had the privilege of working alongside hundreds of nurses all the time. This idea of that badging. When we think of education, we don't always think about all the different elements of encouragement, empowerment. That badging, in many ways, to me, speaks to, again, you have an opportunity to be recognized in another way for the awesome work that you're doing in your educational journey. The idea that your faculty, your colleagues throughout the process in Yellowdig will be contributing to an awesome dialogue, an awesome online community of nurses and nurse leaders, that element of the building blocks of a true, authentic healthcare education. And I also want to highlight the fact that, as Dr. Oswald said, the final badge is that nurse leader badge. That's so profound when we think of the nurse leaders of our healthcare systems are so important to all aspects of the healthcare operation. We all know patient safety. We all know the transformational experience that our nurses contribute to our patients each and every day, whether they're in rural, suburban, or urban communities. You all are heroes. And this Equity Impact Scholarship is another awesome opportunity to say thank you and to take that next step to join us in creating a more equitable healthcare workforce in all elements of our healthcare system here throughout the United States. I'd like to, at this time, actually welcome you. Take time, if you can, put in some Q&A, particularly in the chat. Feel free to put in any question as it relates to the Equity Impact Scholarship, as well as it relates to Mercy College Health Sciences and the Mercy Plus RN to BSN. We are here to answer your questions. So take some time and put it in the chat, and we will be answering your questions very shortly. While I wait for a question, I am going to, there was a question submitted earlier, and I'm going to pose that one. I'm going to read it out loud so everyone has an opportunity to hear it. And it was, I've never studied online, and I'm wondering what the online learning experience is like. Will there be Zoom calls and online presentations? I'm going to actually ask both Andy and Dr. Oswald if they could take, maybe Andy, if you want to take the first part of that, and then Dr. Oswald, if you want to take the second part of that question. I think it would be beneficial for both of you to speak to that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't been an online student before, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to be able to continue to advance in your profession while also managing a lot of things that I mean can just be a challenge to students. Having a family schedule, having extracurricular activities. Sometimes students don't think it's possible that they can go back to school and they can earn a degree to advance. And being an online student in an asynchronous environment lets you do your homework when you have time. So some people like to be the midnight owl. Some people like to do it on their lunch break. It's really conducive to students that are managing things outside of school and work, and they're able to do it at their own pace. Dr. Oswald?
Yes, thank you, Andy. You know, I can attest that I grew up in the era and became a nurse when there was nothing online. And it is an opportunity to have an online experience that is both of quality, but also designed to you. And I think that's the take-home message is we do our courses on Canvas, and we also have Yellowdig. So you can Google both Canvas and Yellowdig and look at what those platforms offer. But beyond that, we have an orientation into the college, but we also have that first course that I mentioned, which is our program orientation and professional writing course. That course specifically came from recommendations of our students to acclimate them back into both online setting as well as the academic environment. So we have a course that gets you prepared to take that journey in that online setting. And it is only a 5-week course, but it's built to support you as you come back to school from an online setting as well as to balance that in your life. So I think that really stands out in the program.
Great, thank you both. Let me just also ask Tanya if there's anything you'd like to add, particularly as you work with many applicants for the program. If there's anything you want to add, particularly about the work that DHG does in this space as well. Oh. Well, while Tanya joins us momentarily, I'm going to ask the next question, which specifically deals with location.
Sorry.
Oh, are you there, Tanya?
Yeah, sorry, I just had a brief interlog there. So I think the thing is with the online, the basic premise and the way that the RN to BSN online program was built was to align with the work and the family life of the learner so that they can work on their schooling anytime, as Andy discussed. So it's very flexible. And I love that it was designed like that. Plus, they also have the supportive background, you know, with the enrollment coaches, the peer-to-peer support, as Kim has talked about, Jeffrey. So it's quite flexible. And, you know, they're getting feedback from the instructors, they're getting feedback from the students. It's readily available. And I know there is trepidation from adult learners about stepping back into study, particularly online study. But I think that the support network is really thorough. And, you know, it's been designed in that manner.
Great, thank you, Tanya. Speaking on that topic, there was another question that related in many ways to that. And that's specifically, Dr. Oswald spoke to the time commitment, which I know you highlighted that potentially an individual could complete in a year. But maybe if you don't mind, among the students that you've seen go through the program, maybe talk a little bit about what you've seen in terms of time commitment, particularly for that busy working professional that's already still working, but now is taking this on. And then the second piece of it that I'd like you to maybe talk about is at a time when people are super stressed, you know, what are the ways that you and your faculty, as well as all the support units that we've talked about, really support that student to make this, you know, that they want to do it, but they're a little, to Tanya's point, cautious, they're concerned because of their working busy shifts, etc.
That's a great couple of questions, Jeffrey. I think the first question about the time commitment, you know, you have to look at each individual learner. So I'm hesitant to say you work 5 hours a week. I'm hesitant to say that, but we do ask as our program that you log on a minimum of 3 times a week because there are assignment dates that are due. And so it is important that you keep engaged. Now that may mean you log on for an hour or two to get some work done. It may mean you log on for a few minutes, but the key point is, and I can't say enough, is to fit into your lifestyle. So you will develop your stride, and everybody's stride is a little bit individual. As far as how long it takes students to finish the program, I would say probably right now, the majority of our students finish in anywhere from a year or a little bit more. So it might be a year and a half, a year to year and a half. Typically, our working adults don't want it to drag on for years and years and years. They want to get in, get their education, and continue on. Many of our graduates are going on to graduate degrees, some are not. So it just kind of depends on where that individual is at. That second question, Jeffrey, remind me again, the second question was about?
particularly, for those nurses who really do want to take this next step, but they're just concerned about, they're working extra long shifts as a result of the Delta variant and just the workforce challenges of today. How does this still be the type of program that's going to help them take that next step?
Yes, it is a big decision, but it is a doable decision. Right now, I have so many students that are working on COVID units. They are working the extra hours and they are being successful in their classes. One thing I can say, and I don't know about other professions, but if a nurse makes a decision and you commit to that, you will get it done. And we work with you as faculty. I cannot think of a more compassionate faculty. I'd like to give one quick example. When COVID hit, we had many students in the program that had difficulty. It was hard for them to make assignment due dates. We sat down with our students and said, what can we do to help you be successful? If it meant we had to have some compassion, we did. And that's the nice thing about our program. Those core values drive faculty as well as staff. So I want you to kind of take that fear off of the plate and look at what you can do. And this can be done. And I think probably one of the bigger keys is working with that enrollment coach to determine what schedule is doable for you. So maybe you start with 1 or 2 classes. How do they feel? And then you decide, well, I can take another class, and you may ramp up to 3 classes a term. It really is meant to fit into your lifestyle. We want you to be successful, but we want you to have a family and work life also.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Oswald. Tanya, I'd like you to maybe expound on that and maybe talk to everyone from the vantage point of that element of Yellowdig, because that online community, what's the power of that too, from the perspective of that peer-to-peer? Maybe if you want to maybe comment on that as well. Tanya, you are still muted.
Sorry. There's weekly discussions in Yellowdig, and that provides a high level of interaction, as Kim has discussed, with students and faculty. And, the students are expected to log in 3 times per week, but obviously it's optimal if they're logging in frequently and interacting. And I think also that gives them a bit of a comfort zone, really. Again, as we said, it's really, this program's about aligning with their family, with their, some people will be working on a Sunday, long hours, and others will be, throughout the week, just taking time. So it's very flexible, and that's the way it was designed. And faculty are online daily, and they're monitoring the progress of the students. So that feedback, that continual feedback, I think is really, Jeffrey, reassuring,
Can I jump in and say something too, Jeffrey,
Absolutely.
about that? I also found through the last year and a half, those Yellowdig discussions, it is almost like a support network for those nurses that are working. Those Yellowdig discussions, we develop those that the nurses bring their personal experience into those discussions. And so students honestly gave feedback. These Yellowdig discussions have been so helpful. And I feel like it's almost a support network for the nurses as they engage together and get to know each other in the classes. And so they have that support peer-to-peer also, which is very unique in RN to BSN programs.
I think, Dr. Oswald, what you spoke to speaks to the power of the Mercy Plus and Dignity Health Global Education Partnership to bring this type of an educational program to nurses. And that's that idea that not only, to your point of that support network, I think of it from the vantage point of, it's almost like having taken a DHD program before, obviously not as a clinical person, but seeing the power of Yellowdig, you see the power of debriefing, where individuals can share, not with any patient-related information, but the generalities of the challenge that they were dealing with, and then these peers will give them encouragement. They'll coach them. They'll assist them, and the power that you have to think that you'll be truly in an engaged online learning community where you have the expertise of the phenomenal faculty who also share that mission vision, but you have others who are facing similar situations, but could be in an urban community while in others in a rural, and yet people think that the issues are so distinct and different, but sometimes they're actually similar at times too. And you can have that encouragement is just beautiful and truly speaks to why this is without question superior to none. So thank you for bringing that up. Whomever, I'm thinking Tanya or Dr. Oswald or Andy can speak to this, but there was a question related to, if a student thinking about the challenges that sometimes we can have when we're dealing with technology, if they deal with a technical issue, they're in the midst of a program, they're working hard, as we know, as our nurses always do, they're determined, but they deal with a technical issue. What are the support systems in place through Mercy College Plus that can help them, ensure that that's not a barrier?
Well, I'll jump in and mention that, if students have technical issues, we have individuals at the college that they can contact to get some support services. They also have their faculty who will help as much as we can from an IT standpoint. I'm certainly not an IT professional, but can navigate around Yellowdig and Canvas quite well. We also have within Canvas, there are 24/7 support within Canvas itself. So not only the LMS or the learning management system support, but there's also support at the college level. So really, I want to encourage people to not be fearful of that, because there are supports out there. If something were to happen on the weekend, maybe when something goes down, then that's when you have that communication with your faculty member, to have some grace and compassion about working with you to submit those assignments, obviously in a timely fashion. But if something happens, just having that proactive communication with your faculty.
And we also have, of course, with Dignity Health Global Education, a support team as well. So I love that partnership, because, they could reach out as well, Jeffrey, to us, and we would assist them, right away, just to get the questions answered, right?
Great. Andy, this one's going to be for you. In the world of nursing education, there are many programs. I think today we've highlighted what sets Mercy College of Health Sciences and Mercy Plus with the RN to BSN apart. But anything else you'd want to reference as to why an individual should really think about not only this Equity Impact Scholarship, but really more importantly, why this RN to BSN if they were making a decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to me. We're a health sciences specialty school. That's what we do. If you don't know much about Mercy College, we don't have a football team. We don't have a cafeteria. We don't have a marching band. We do health sciences. That's all we do. Even if you're taking general education colleges at our college, general education classes have elements of science and healthcare. When there's an opportunity to weave that into our curriculum, we do. So the experience that students get here is different. We're a small school, so the faculty to student ratio is small as well. From walking in our building, our receptionist knows our students by their name. So it's just a different feel. I think there's over 700 RN to BSN completion programs. There's just something astronomical. It's huge. So students really do have to make a decision. What do they want out of their education? Where do they want to get it? And how do they want that education to drive them in their career? And we believe very strongly that the history of our college, the quality of the degree, and the core values and curriculum that our students experience and they leave here with is it's the best. I'll say it.
Great, thank you, Dr. Oswald. Anything you'd want to specifically add to that? I always say we got to give it to the chair because from a faculty end, I'm sure there's elements of the faculty that also set you apart.
I just want to leave with just one word, that my students are the best students in the face of the earth. They are. I get to know them. I get a relationship with these wonderful nurses throughout the country, and we work together. And there isn't a more happy day than I'm just finishing courses this week when those students graduate, and I congratulate them and thank them for all their dedicated work. So, I learn from my students too. So it's that relationship building that I think really sets us apart. And we do care about our students and we want you to be successful. That's the main thing because we need good nursing leaders out in the healthcare setting, in non-healthcare settings. Some of our students are in insurance roles, some of our school nurses, public health nurses. We've got all different kinds of nurses that are in the program. So we need all of you out there serving the people that you serve.
There was one final question that I want to make sure we do cover. And it specifically dealt with, can I study in this program if I am not in Iowa? I want to make sure that we get that answer, Dr. Oswald, completely. And then the other one that added to that was, do I have to worry about anything with clinical hours specifically? So if you would be so kind to address those two questions, that would be great.
Sure, you do not have to be in the state of Iowa to be in this program. We have nurses across the country. And so it is designed to fit into your life. So that question, no, don't have to be in Iowa. As far as clinical hours, we do have one course in the program, our community health course, where nurses gain an experience in the community setting. But you can do that in your own community. We work with you to find a location to finish up those they're preceptor hours, not really clinical hours, preceptor, where you spend time with a community health nurse. And so we work with you in your own setting. And so other than that, there are no clinical hours.
Great. Andy, Tanya, anything you'd like to add to those points?
I just wanted to end, Jeffrey, just by saying, I love Andy, what he said when he says we're small but mighty. I love that expression because it really, I think, talks, true to the school. There's so many great, facts that are coming with the school and the support and the traditions. And I always talk to students about the hand-holding approach. It's like joining a family. They're going to be there to support you. So I just wanted to end on that note.
No, absolutely. Andy, anything?
I think that's a really good place to leave it, Tanya. I mean, it's a different experience. We say it and we mean it to students that you're, when you apply and you begin this program, you become part of our family. And that's a pretty big family over 120 years of healthcare education.
All right. Well, let me just say that I think what we've heard from each of you is that there's no doubt of the power of a mission-based educational program that truly has been designed, developed, and personalized for every single nurse that is out there. Your journey can begin literally today with Mercy. What you do will be recognized and thanked each and every day. And you have an awesome opportunity to have a transformational experience with Mercy and Dignity Health Global Education with the potential for zero out of pocket. I want to highlight that, the potential for zero out of pocket with the Equity Impact Scholarship. That is literally in your hands. The opportunity, as you've heard both Andy, Tanya, and Dr. Oswald talk about today, that the faculty are world-class. The system that has been developed of an online learning community that will be there to support you in the journey of you having that opportunity to earn your RN to BSN. And again, in less than or right around 1 year or just a little bit more is significant. And to have the opportunity with the Equity Impact Scholarship and the support and caring nature of Mercy to do it with zero out of pocket is significant. And so we want to just thank you once again for what you do. We can't, as I said from the very beginning, thank you as our caring nursing professionals and nurse leaders enough for what you do each and every day. The work that you do for patients needs to be recognized and thanked all of the time. We want you to know that at both Mercy College of Health Sciences and at Dignity Health Global Education, we do that through the work that we do each and every day. It is our hope that you have found this to be both useful and helpful, and that you will take the time, as Tanya talked about, to take those steps. This is in your hands, this transformational student journey to take the next step in your nurse leadership career to obtain your RN to BSN with the potential for zero out of pocket is in your hands. The Mercy team and the DHG team are here to help you, to get you through that, to take you to the next step. We want to thank you again for all that you do. And let me also just extend a special thanks to Dr. Oswald, to Andy, and to Tanya for the wonderful work that they do each and every day on behalf of these students. Please, at any time after this, if you have questions, reach out to the team, reach out to one of us. We will be happy to help you and happy to walk through with you those steps as Tanya laid out. The team is ready. We're here to serve you, and we want to thank you for all that you do. Have a wonderful rest of your day.